Hello, and welcome to Ranking of Saturn, episode 67. I want to start off this video by addressing a technical issue from the last video. This microphone that I'm using has had an issue with it for quite a while now, where there will just be this constant low background hum that I've been trying to find a way to get rid of, to varying degrees of success. I've never been able to get rid of it completely. It kind of comes and goes, it's not consistent, and it hasn't really been that bad for a long time until last video, where at least in the first like half of that video, it was really bad, in a way that really upset me. I have changed the microphone settings again. I now have 2 separate layers of noise cancelling applied to this thing, in an attempt to filter out anything that is not my voice. It's very the level of noise cancelling is very aggressive, so if at any point it feels like my voice doesn't quite come through clearly, or kind of gets clipped and cut off at various points, that's probably what's causing that, because I am extremely pissed off. Depending on how well this video goes, I might just decide to buy a completely new microphone, because I am so sick of this shit. It's not a noise that is actually in my environment. So when you listen back to last week's video, it is a very persistent, noticeable hum that is not loud enough by itself to break through the noise gate, is definitely audible whenever I speak. Whenever I'm saying anything, you can definitely hear this very audible hum in the background, and like I said, it's not a noise that is in my environment. The only noise around me right now is the PC, which I'm using to capture and record this video, is making a very, 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 like, quiet, like white noise, because there's a fan inside there, right? But it's a very, very quiet noise, and sounds nothing like the hum you heard in the last video, so I'm not exactly 100% sure what that hum is meant to be. I've made the discovery that if I place my hands on the microphone like this, the hum almost entirely goes away, which suggests 2 possibilities. It's a hum caused by vibration, which again, I don't know what vibration. I can't feel any vibration, so I'm not sure if it's that, or it's a grounding issue, which is very concerning if that is in fact the reason for it, and I will be doing further tests to try and figure out which one of those it might be. I'm not getting a mic arm. I'm not the sort of, it's not the kind of life I'm trying to live. So if it is vibration, I will have to figure out some form of padding, additional padding to go between the microphone stand and the desk. But it will not result in me getting a mic arm. That's just not, that's not the kind of person I am. That's not the life I live. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Today we are playing 3 more games, all of them winter sports themed. 2 of them came out in January of 1998, and the third game came out in February. The first game we are going to play today is a snowboarding game from Victor Entertainment and Cave, which is funny because when you hear of a game made by Cave, you think of bullet hell shooters. And this is probably the furthest thing you could get from a bullet hell shooter. It is a snowboarding game called Steep Slope Sliders. This game was published by Sega themselves in Europe and is usually considered a gem of the platform, a forgotten gem of the platform. So let's get rid of that. Let's bring up the capture and hit go. Victor Entertainment also put out another game we've already looked at. They put out what was it? Pinball Graffiti? Which was that weird, like, pinball-themed RPG. We looked back in episode 48. I'm going to turn this game down a little bit. It seems kind of loud. Victor Entertainment is... No, sorry, I'm thinking of... Sorry, Victor Interactive. Victor Interactive worked on this game. Victor Entertainment is a completely different company, apparently. Victor, or the Japanese Victor Company, or JVC as we know them here in the West, apparently had two separate video game development teams, one called Victor Interactive, one called Victor Entertainment. Victor Entertainment did... what was that boxing game? Victory Boxing from episode 11. That was a Victor Entertainment game. So that can get confusing for some people, the difference between Victor Interactive and Victor Entertainment. Okay. And also Cave, famed bullet hell shooter developers. This game might not be compatible with the 3D pad, which would be shocking to me. Oh no, hang on. No. No, this game is not compatible with the 3D pad. Okay. I wasn't sure, but I had to find out. Some people said it was, some people said it wasn't. Now we know for sure it is not. Plug in a regular controller. There we go. Options. Very a simple options menu. We have ranking and replay and sound test, time progression. So there are two types of ranking for every course. There's a time attack ranking and a score ranking. This game is single player only. There is no multiplayer in this game. What kind of replay options? And we have two replays. Not going to worry about those for now. Sound test. Ooh, a sound test. Oh my god, I love this. Look at this. We've been transported to the inside of a cube. While this music plays, it's very very dramatic. Okay. Does the cube change depending on what song you play? I hope so. No. The cube stays the same. Can we control the cube in any way? Oh my god. I think you can. You can control a spin. Oh god. By hitting things on the controller, you can change the direction of which the camera is moving. But it's not easy to make out. Okay. So if I hold down... Okay, so if you hold down the shoulder buttons on the controller, you can increase or decrease a rate of spin in the camera, which is interesting. So if I hold down the left shoulder button now, we start spinning, and I can just increase that speed to the point where you completely, like, cease to perceive this environment as a cube because we're moving so fast. I can slow down that rate of spin and reverse it by holding down the right shoulder button. There we go. Now we're going the other way. Here we go. Whee! Okay. And again, by pushing the other shoulder button, we can stop the spin. And directions on the D-pad also seem to change the rate of spin. So up rotates us that way, down rotates us the other way, left, oh god, yeah, it's just, it's not really controllable. You can't actually stop the movement. So I don't think so. Y does nothing. X does nothing. Z does nothing. No, you can only increase or decrease spin. That's it. That's the only control you have. Okay. That's cool. Effect. Oh my god. Oh no! No, okay, effect is what changes the cube. Oh my god. So you can change the design of the cube. Okay. Oh, we got a sick tunnel! Hell yeah! This really whips the llama's ass. This is some fucking Winamp style... Winamp style, like... effects here. I downloaded some new sick Winamp, like, visualization plugins. Hell yeah, let's look at them. Okay, so right on the D-pad. Okay, so alright, so we actually seem to have some kind of camera control. Oh. Okay, so up on the D-pad makes us faster. Oh god! Down on the D-pad makes us slow down or go backwards. Shoulder buttons continue to create spin or cancel spin. Oh god, you could get sick. You could get really sick. Oh my god. What's effect 3 look like? Oh, okay, that's... Okay, warning. Holy shit. That actually hurts. Jesus Christ. Oh wow, that really hurt my eyes. Okay, epilepsy warning. Holy fuck. Epilepsy warning. Epilepsy warning. Holy shit. I might have to put an epilepsy warning on the thumbnail again, like I did with what the fuck was that game called? What was the light gun from Konami called? Crypt Killer? Oh yeah, no, backing out. Yeah, these are just these just continue to just be just photo. Oh god, just nightmares. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh boy. Photosensitive epilepsy. Warning, warning. Jesus. Yeah, that's this. Okay, this is not as bad. Still not good, but not as bad as the last couple. They appear to be in some kind of again, like another cube, but this one's made out of multicolored lines. Interesting. 8. Oh god, the fuck. And we're back to the mechanical cube. Okay. Jesus. Got time progression? Time progress. Off, on, on. Hang on. On. There we go. Exit. There we go. And that's the options. Alright. Let's play some steep slope sliders. This is kind of just primarily a time trial game with a very rudimentary trick system that doesn't actually feel good to use. Okay, there are 7 tracks, courses. There might be some more courses to unlock. I'm not actually sure. So you have 4 default characters to choose from. We have Red Goggles Man. We have Blue Baseball Cap Man. We have Orange Trousers Man. And we have White T-Shirt Girl. I don't know what their actual names are. Let's start with White T-Shirt Girl. Versus Russia. Wreath? Okay, 37 AM. Not normally this dark.
3, 2.
Why is it dark?
Now.
Okay, so A button to jump. Unlike most other snowboard games, there is no. It is jump on press, not jump on release. If you've played games like 1080 or Cool Borders, those games are jump on release, where you'll hit the you'll hold down the jump button and you'll see your snowboarder kind of like brace, and then when you take your finger off the button, then they will jump. It is not the case in this game. It is jump on press. There is no bracing for a jump in this game. Okay, you can kind of rotate with the shoulder buttons. Oop. B is a trick button. You can change what grabs you do by pushing different directions on the D-pad to change the trick, and C does flips. Oop. As a failed backflip. Didn't quite have the air to pull that off. There is no scoot in this game. Again, games like Cool Borders, if you slow down a lot or you hit something, you can push up on the D-pad to scoot forwards to kind of, bring yourself back up to speed faster. This game doesn't have that. Gravity is the only force that affects your speed and acceleration in this game. Not sure why that's so dark. Is there like a system clock? Does this game have like system clock functionality? Is this a game that changes like the time of day depending on what your system clock is? Because if so, that's the first I've heard of it. Save here on this option. This is to save a replay, not to save your progress. I believe your times and scores are saved automatically. You only hit save here if you want to save a replay, which we do not want to do. Like I said earlier, there is no multiplayer in this game, and there are no CPU snowboarders to race against. It's just you alone on the course, and that's it. Unlike 1080 and Cool Borders, which would have been the contemporary snowboarding games of this era on other platformers, on other platforms rather. Cool Borders was the snowboard franchise of note for the PlayStation, and 1080 was the snowboard. I think one of the only snowboarding game for the N64. I don't think there are other snowboarding games for the N64. And before anyone says Snowboard Kids, no, Snowboard Kids doesn't count. Snowboard Kids is a Mario Kart knockoff. Snowboard Kids is not actually a snowboarding game. It's not about snowboarding. It's just, what if somebody made a Mario Kart clone and instead of cars, people were on snowboards? So I think 1080 might actually be the only real snowboarding game on that entire console. I don't know for sure, but I should check. I was never a big 1080 guy. I never liked the first 1080 game. 1080 for the N64 is a game that people loved, but I could never get into. I was never able to figure out what that game was expecting from me control-wise. That game always felt super unforgiving. When you're trying to like land tricks, I felt like I would line up perfectly flat with the ground after performing a trick, and then I would hit the ground and fall over anyway, and it was always very annoying, and I never could quite figure out what the game was expecting from me. I guess back in the day, I was a Cool Borders guy. Specifically Cool Borders 3. I know everyone says Cool Borders 2 is the go-to Cool Borders game, but I disagree. Cool Borders 3 is a much, much better game than Cool Borders 2. I think they went up to 4 on the PlayStation. I think there were 4 Cool Borders games for the PlayStation. My personal favourite is 3. Alright, let's go with Blue Baseball Cap Man. Okay. 1:43 p.m. Target time 2:48. Best time 2 minutes. Target time 2:48. Okay, that's a dam. And we're just going to jump out the side of the helicopter.
1. Now.
Oh god. Get off the cliff wall. Yeah, not a lot of opportunities to perform tricks in this game. Certain courses are more trick friendly than others. This is not one of them. This is primarily a racing course. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. I think the C button only does backflips. I don't think you can actually do any other kind of flip in this game. Oh, crap. I tried doing front flips. I tried pressing all sorts of different directions on the D-pad, but it only ever seems to do a backflip. Like I said, the trick system in this game feels very simple. Again, that was not enough air there to do anything really. Turn. Wasn't clear how much air I had there. Yeah, not a lot of opportunities to perform tricks. This game probably has more in common with 1080 stylistically than it does with Core Borders, because 1080, despite the name, is a time trial focused snowboarding game. Okay. Hang on. Just fiddling with some sound options, give me a moment. Okay. For some reason, it felt like the compressor on the game wasn't working correctly. The sound wasn't ducking properly as I was speaking, so it was distracting me. Okay. Yeah, this game seems to have a lot more in common with 1080, which is also a game which is primarily time attacks. Despite being called 1080, which gives you the idea that, you know, tricks would play a bigger role in that game, but they don't. That game's a racing game. Core Borders is more of a straight down the middle, half racing, half tricks. Single player is mostly just racing, but the courses are littered with different ramps and bars and other things to jump off of. Where this game, I don't know. This game is, I don't know if I would say this game was as good as either of those two. I would definitely take Cool Borders over this, but I'm not sure about 1080. 1080 is kind of a toss-up between those two, frankly. Right, let's go with Red Goggles Man. Got some horses. Like, the courses have got, like, some nice details. Like billboards and
3, 2,
buildings and animals. You don't really get much of an opportunity to see any of it. And again, we have this big wide open course here with barely, like, there's no ramps or anything, so there's not really any opportunities to do tricks other than the occasional big jump. Just feels like wasted opportunity. So this game is definitely racing focused or time trial focused, but again, because there's no multiplayer, there's no one to actually race against. It's just a case of, I'm going to do a time trial, then you pass the controller over to someone else and you watch them do a time trial. And maybe they're faster or slower than you, but there's no direct competition. It really, I think, limits the appeal of this game. Oh, we've got a dog. There's a dog behind us for a couple seconds there. Don't know if you could see it. There doesn't appear to be any way to crouch down or accelerate, because again, in 1080 you can kind of like crouch down, and that will like decrease your wind resistance, which means you might be able to pick up some speed at the expense of your maneuverability. There's nothing like that in this game. It just feels like a much more simplistic take on snowboarding than either Cool Borders or 1080. There's no career mode. It's not like you can enter a career mode or anything. The only thing this game offers is you select a course, you snowboard down the course, you get the best time you can, and then the game dumps you back at the title screen. Just seems to be a general just lack of features. I feel like this game really needed a sequel. If Cave got to work on a Steep Slope Sliders 2 and really flesh out what they started here, I feel like they could have made something genuinely quite good, because there are good bones here. This game has good bones. This feels like a foundational game that you then build on top of much more meaningfully with the sequel, kind of like what they did with the Cool Borders games. The original Cool Borders is an incredibly bare bones game, very similar to this one. And Cool Borders only started becoming good with Cool Borders 2 and 3. But yeah, original Cool Borders is also extremely fucking bare bones, like this. This needed a sequel. I bet they would have added, I don't know, a more meaningful single player, maybe some kind of simultaneous multiplayer, split screen, which would have been cool. You know, a more meaningful career mode, perhaps. Fleshed out and improved the trick system, maybe that would have been good. But you know, we never got to get a sequel. Oh god, it's another really late at night one. This course is not normally this late at night. 10:54 p.m. This might be a system clock thing.
3, 2,
where
1.
I think Italy is 1 hour behind the UK, and it is currently, at time of recording, 11:55. So this might be a case of, I don't know. Oh god. Using the system clock to try and figure out what the time of day is in the regions of the world where these courses are. Because again, this is not normally this dark. God. Oh god, ice. Oh cool, I couldn't even see that rock because it was just black. It's just a pitch black rock coming at me, so I couldn't even avoid it. Turn. Like the frame rate's good. Like, what the fuck is? What is this? What? Oh, I think I'm in a tunnel. But because it's late at night, I can't see. Oh no, that's a problem. Yeah, we're in a tunnel, but because of the time of day, we can't see shit. Oh no. Yeah, this has to be a system clock feature. We'll experiment. If I quit out to the BIOS in a minute and change the system clock, and we'll come back and do this course again. And we'll see if there's a difference.
Go.
God.
Completed.
Because that was a disaster. Yeah, we're gonna have to experiment with that. Right, let's do that actually. Hang on. Let's do that. Let's go and fuck with the system clock. Say midday. It's about midday, let's say. I really like it when games do stuff with system clock settings, like it's, you know, but not very many games do things with system clocks anymore. I think the only one I can really think of is Animal Crossing. That's the only game these days that I can think of that actually does anything with the system clock to any great effect. Let's do that again then. Let's race that same course, but with a different time of day. Okay. We'll use the same dude. See if anything changes. Yeah. Yeah. It's now, so it is doing something with the system clock. The time is 12:58 when in reality it's just gone 11 now, so I'm guessing Italy must be 2 hours.
3, 2, 1. Now.
2 hours separated from us, not 1.
Started.
Yeah, look, this is much better. That's kind of cool. That's something that 1080 or Cool Borders doesn't do, because the N64 and the PlayStation don't have system clocks that I know of. I know the N64 definitely doesn't, because the N64 doesn't have an internal BIOS. So any games for the N64 that wanted to do anything with an internal clock to include a clock in the cartridge itself. So the original version of Animal Crossing for the N64 had a watch battery in the cartridge, so it could run a constantly ticking internal clock in the cartridge itself, because the N64 didn't have any kind of BIOS or internal clock that it could draw from. I've got to turn. Ugh. Yeah, look, this tunnel is so much easier to navigate in daylight than it is at night. Oops. Not quite enough air. There's a guy on that roof back there. What was he doing there?
Goal. He did it.
Okay. So if you are able to finish certain courses under a certain time or with a certain amount of points, you can unlock additional borders. And it just so happens that I have unlocked 2 additional borders for us to play with. So if you hit the right shoulder button on the character select screen, I have these 2 unlocked snowboarders to choose from. We have Racer and Boy. Let's play as Racer since we're on the Alpine racing course next. It just makes sense. Oh no. That's the one annoying thing about having a game pull from the system clock to decide your time of day, is that there are always going to be certain tracks that you can't race on effectively. Ever. Because they're always going to be dark at the time of day that you're, available to play the game at. Much more practical just to give players the choice when selecting the course, just say, hey, what time of day do you want this to be at? Oh, ow. Rotate. rotate. Again, not a lot of opportunity to perform tricks on this course. Yeah, the trick system definitely feels like an afterthought in this game. Ooh, a little bit of slowdown at the end there. Normally the performance in this game is pretty solid, but it got a little bit sketchy towards the end there. Okay. So yeah, now we've got Snowboard Park and Half Pipe, which are both the two more trick-focused courses in this game. Let's choose Boy. Apparently there are alternate costumes if you hold down the Z button and then select a character. They should have an alternate costume, supposedly. Oh no, this is unplayable. See, this is the annoying thing. In order to play this game to play this course in like daylight, I now need to go back out to the bio screen, change the time of day again, and reboot the game, which sucks. Shouldn't have to do that. Oh my god. This is why, more often than not, games make time of day a menu option and not something tied directly to the system clock, I guess. Or they make the time of day not be a burden. Probably the single coolest application of a system clock mechanic in a game that I know of is Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader for the GameCube. There were 2 missions in that game that were affected by the internal clock. And it wasn't just a time of day thing, it would completely change the mission. So there's one specific mission where if you play during the day, that's a more traditional combat mission. But if you play that mission at night, it becomes a stealth mission where you have to fly around and not get caught. Because it's the middle of the night, you know, and you're meant to be doing stealth reconnaissance of an Imperial base or something, which is really cool because it's not the idea that the playing a specific mission at different times of day changes how that mission plays is a really cool idea, and I've seen no other video game ever do that. I forget what the other mission did. I know there was one of those missions was definitely is this a normal combat mission or is this like a stealth like a stealth reconnaissance mission because it's the middle of the night, and I always thought that was a really cool implementation of, you know, system clock mechanics. Whereas the system clock stuff in this game just kind of makes courses unplayable. You play a course at night, there's no guarantee you're even going to be able to see what the fuck you're doing. Let's try again. Okay, there we go. Now we can see what we're doing. Oh, some basketball game happening. There's a guy jumping off a cliff. That's weird. Again, a lot of weird details, and boy has a different coloured t-shirt. Because we held down the Z button. Aha, I landed it. Oh, I didn't land that one. Damn. Trying to go up that half pipe on the right there, but it didn't quite work. Nope. Turn. I'm not sure how you grind pipes in this game. I've seen it happen on replays, but I'm not exactly sure how it's done. Oh my god. Also, steering seems to be more of a suggestion with Boy. Boy's not particularly good at steering. Again, there's nothing here really to do tricks off of. There are no ramps. It's this big, long, flat area. Okay. Crap. Yeah. Nope, didn't think I could do that. Didn't think I could pull that off, but I tried anyway. Yeah. This game feels like a proof of concept that really could have been built upon with a sequel, much in the same way that Cool Borders 2 did over the original Cool Borders. It just feels a little bit too bare bones. If the trick system doesn't feel fleshed out enough, there's not really enough, like there's no simultaneous multiplayer. There's the single player is extremely, I don't know, unsatisfying. It's just a series of just, I don't know, pick a course and just do your thing. This game needs a career mode. It needs split screen multiplayer. It needs better designed courses that are like more trick friendly. Oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. Hang on, back out. Like I said earlier, this game's got good bones, but that's all it is. Just bones. This game needs more meat. It needs meat for those bones. Oh god. 7:12 p.m. Okay, so it's not completely dark. We can still sort of see our surroundings, which is good.
3, 2, 1, now!
Okay. Oh god. Going up the side of the half pipe is tricky. Oh my god, somehow I landed that. No! Oh my god, I can't... See, steering doesn't feel great in this. Okay. One more? No. Sort of. You've set the points record. BALDIE is now selectable. Oh cool, we've unlocked the character BALDIE. How nice. Oh cool. Whatever. So before we rank, we better check out BALDIE then. Let's do Extreme 1. Okay, we have shirtless bald man with a tattoo on his shoulder. Okay. Oh shit. Again, I accidentally keep hitting the shoulder button when I don't want to hit the shoulder button. I'm interested. What is BALDIE's alternate costumes? Let's hit Z and select him. See what it is. Does he have hair? Is that his alternate costume? It would be funny if a bald character's alternate costume was that he wore a wig. That would be, unironically, a funny alternate costume for a bald character to have in this game. Like, he's still shirtless.
3, 2, 1, now!
Oh no, no. Oh no, they give him a hoodie. That's his alternate... That's his alternate costume. He's just wearing a hoodie. Okay, that's... Huh. Oh, no, it's not a hoodie. He's actually coloured blue. That's his skin. Because if you look, you can still see his tattoo and his chest muscles. So he's just blue coloured now. He's an alien. Ah, shit. Ooh. Okay. Oops. Turn. Turn, please. Get going, please. Oh my god. Turn. Turn. Oh my god. Sometimes the turning in this game just feels kind of unresponsive. I don't know if that's a particular trait of this character. Maybe this character just is not good at turning. Because they don't list any stats on the character select screen, so
Completed.
okay. I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough. That is Steep Slope Sliders. Good bones. Good bones. But that's all the game is. Bones. It's got good performance. Visual fidelity seems decent for the platform. It's just that the game needs more meat. It needs meat for those bones, okay? It needs a proper career mode. It needs, like, split-screen multiplayer so you can race against a friend. It needs something. It's not just single-player time trials against no one, not even a computer-controlled opponent. Just an empty course with just you on it is not enough. This is a game that was begging, like I said earlier, a game that is begging to be, like, fleshed out in a sequel. But obviously, this game never got a sequel. I don't know if a sequel was originally planned and cancelled or what, but man, this definitely feels like you do your solid. The first game is where you do your really solid proof of concept, and then the second game is where you start adding shit and improving it meaningfully. But we never got that. It's not as good as Virtua Fighter Kids. As compromised as it is, I would rather play Daytona USA. Alien Trilogy is a better game. Nights into Dreams is a better game. But I think we're starting to zero in on where it's going to end up. It's better than Virtua Fighter 1. I like Lost Vikings 2 more. I like Three Dirty Dwarves more. I like Amok more. I like Mystaria, The Realms of Lore more. It's here. It's here. I don't know, the big spinning epilepsy cube / tunnel that you suddenly find yourself in the sound test is fun, I suppose. It's not as good as Wipeout 2097, even though that is an extremely compromised version of the game. My main issue with Steep Slope Sliders is the lack of a more compelling single player mode. You can get away with, if this game had like even bare bones multiplayer, you could kind of get away with not a very compelling single player mode. If this game had a more compelling single player, you could get away with not having multiplayer. This game has neither a compelling single player experience nor a multiplayer experience. It's kind of just, it's just time trials on an empty course. This game might be a glorified tech demo. I like Space Hulk more. Mega Man X3 is a better game. Sega Worldwide Soccer 98 is a better game. I like Formula Karts more. Blazing Dragons is more interesting. Heberake's Papa Ito is more interesting. Wipeout 1 is a more compelling game than Steep Slope Sliders. The Sega Saturn version of Quake is not the version of Quake you want to play, but it is still a more compelling experience than Steep Slope Sliders. I would rather play Crazy Ivan. I would rather play Sonic 3D. Now it's tough. Now it's tough. Okay, Street Racer is not without its flaws, but it is a far more compelling. Street Racer. Street Racer's main strength is as a multiplayer game. Single player, this game's kind of miserable, but you get a group of people into one room, up to 8 people, and there's some genuine fun can be had in this game's multiplayer mode. This is a very good multiplayer game. International Victory Goal is more fun. Valora Valley Golf is more interesting to me. Sega Worldwide Soccer is a more fun game. Darklight Conflict is a more compelling game. Last Bronx is a fighting game which I desperately want to like more. But it just feels... It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel quite right. It puts... There's too much input queuing. It's way too heavy on queuing inputs in a way that's actively annoying. But it's got style. Last Bronx is a game that has buckets and buckets and buckets of style. So even if you're not especially fond of the game's fighting system, you can't help but just soak in how cool it looks. And so for that reason, I'm going to say Last Bronx is probably a better game than Steep Slope Sliders. So it's going between Last Bronx and Virtua Fighter 1. Steep Slope Sliders is a game, much like Last Bronx, a game I really want to like more. It's got excellent bones. You know, the fundamentals are there. You know, the visual fidelity is good. The performance is good. You just need to attach more stuff to it. It's just, oh my god, it's a little bit too bare bones for me. This game needed some kind of like split screen multiplayer or a more compelling single player. That's what it needed, but it just doesn't have either, and without that it just feels so empty. The trick system feels tacked on. The most of the courses feel like they don't really give you enough opportunities to perform tricks. Some of them just feel like straight pipes with flat snow and nothing else. The internal clock mechanics are interesting, but ultimately end up being more of a hindrance than something to you know, to look forward to. Because I feel like half the time you load up a course and then the game's like, oh, according to the internal clock, this part of the world is in the middle of it's the middle of the night in this part of the world, so now everything is super fucking dark and you can't see shit. And oh my god, I don't want to have to select a course, realise it's too dark to play, then quit out the game, change my internal clock, reboot the game just so I can play that course. That feels like it's a neat idea on paper, but ultimately ended up being more of a hassle than what you want. Anyway, Steep Slope Sliders, a neat game that really needed more of everything to be, I don't know, worthwhile. Ends up just kind of being a glorified tech demo. Anyway, on to our next game, which is, I believe, there we go, the very last NHL hockey game. This is it. This is the last ice hockey game for the platform. It comes to us from, where does it come from? It comes to us from Radical Entertainment. Where are you? There it is. And it is called NHL All Star Hockey 98. This is the follow-up to NHL All Star Hockey, which came out in, hang on. Okay, episode 5, we played the original NHL All Star Hockey. That was by Grey Matter. Sega kind of did the same thing with this game as they did with the last NBA game. What was that NBA game? NBA Action 98. They took a third-party basketball game that was released on the PlayStation under a different name and then paid the developer, rebranded it as their own game, and had that put out on the Saturn. They did the exact same thing with this. This is a game that was originally well, not, I don't know if it was originally. They may have come out at the same time. They may have come out. I'm not 100% sure what order they came out, but this was available on the PlayStation under the name of NHL Powerplay 98. Sega did the same thing with this as they did with that NBA game, paid the third-party developer, rebranded it as NHL All Star, and then published it on the Saturn. So very funny, but understandable considering what position Sega and the Saturn were in at this time. Okay, this game apparently doesn't have any 3D pad support either, so we're not even going to try.
Patience, discipline. You got no play, boys. Use the board. Good luck. Come on. Let's be rolling, eh? Take that puck and fly. Come on now.
Not as good as the NHL 98 intro, but still not bad. Yeah, Radical put out NHL Power Play or NHL Power Play 96 in North America on the Sega Saturn. We looked at that back in episode 52, so this game is simultaneously a sequel to NHL All Star Hockey and NHL Power Play. I remember that game being okay. That game is apparently is it the second highest rated hockey game on our list right now? It's only a few spaces below NHL 97, which is our highest rated hockey game. Okay, game controls. Okay, slap shot, poke, wrist shot, hook, block, save and smother, I believe, are goalie mechanics. Pass, select player, uppercut. Okay, this game has fighting in it. Punch. See, fast skate and body check. Okay, so slap shot, wrist shot, poke check, hook. Pass, select player, fast skate, body check, flip pass, don't know what that is, skate backwards, drop pass, select goalie, line change, player ID. Okay, whatever, that's good enough. That's good enough. Exhibition season playoffs world tourney. This appears to be a pretty good PAL conversion. This game doesn't have any black borders at the top and bottom of the screen. This is an example of a Sega Saturn game that appears to have been, at least partially, properly optimized for PAL resolutions. So that's nice. My God, a sports game with menus that are easy to navigate. Who are we going to pick? Is there like a random choice button we can press? No, doesn't seem like it. No. Should we do international teams? Oh God, is that the team rating on the right there? 46, 91, 42, 70. Yeah, these look like team ratings. Let's choose really two really shit teams. Austria's 34. Let's go with Austria versus, who's another really shit hockey team? 34, 95, 80, 73. France? Germany? Great Britain's pretty fucking bad at hockey. We're not really a sport that we tend to care about all that much, ice hockey. So as a result, we tend to not put much effort into training. It really shows. Fuck it, let's do Austria versus Great Britain, possibly the two lowest ranked teams in this game, and we're going to play as Austria. Okay, up to 8 players. Very typical for a sports game on this platform. Okay, edit lines, coach team. Let's see what some of these options are. Oh wow, okay, this is a lot more in depth than I thought. No, not interested in that case. Coach team. Starting up ice, slow breakout, normal breakout. Okay, hang forward, hang back, pro. Setup. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. It tells you like what the pros and cons of each strategy are. That's kind of nice. Again, this is like cool for people who don't know a ton about ice hockey. Slow breakout. Pro, time to develop a play. Con, allows the defense to set up. Normal breakout. Pro, controls tempo of play. Con, predictable passing lanes. Fast breakout. Pro, increased scoring chances. Con, risks trapping forwards. Okay, offensive zone. Dump and chase. Safe, don't get trapped deep. Con, tough to retain possession. Creates fast scoring chances. Risks trapping forwards. Retains control in off zone. Risk of breakaway. Let's go with a normal breakout and carry in. So that's cool. I like this. A game that actually explains to you why you would choose certain options. Because too many sports games, like especially now, but even back then, were reliant on the player already being kind of an expert at what how the sport is played. I like this, that they take the time to explain what things mean in case the person playing the game is maybe not the biggest expert. Okay, defensive strategies. Again, tells you what the pros and cons of each strategy is. Neutralizes opponent, needs size to succeed. Prevents scoring chances, opponent controls play. Every opponent covered. Prevents odd man rush. Opponent controls tempo. Commits man deep in zone. Disrupts offensive flow. Let's go with aggressive checking. Set up point, set up perimeter, set up behind net. Let's keep that normal. Penalty kill. Shot blockade increases offense, dictates play. Okay, let's leave that the same. Create player, trade player, team rosters. You can kind of customize your teams as much as you want, which is kind of cool. Stats, 96, 97 stats. Okay, this is just stats for every single team. And it's just for the NHL teams. Okay. That's not that interesting. Sound and display. Okay, announcer. Separate volume bars for each thing. So crowd noise, announcer noise, sound effects, music, organ music. Number, name or number. Let's keep it. For some reason, the drop, like the style of the box on the right there changes. They couldn't decide whether they wanted a drop shadow or a 3D or like a 3D box. For some reason that didn't get picked up on. That's weird. I wonder which one was the placeholder and which one was the style they were meant to go with. Huh. Doesn't really matter. Let's go with name. A lot of good options, you know. Easy to understand menus. Which is definitely not the case in any of the EA Sports games. Yeah, look, speed. Oof. This is some pretty bad team stats right there. Especially speed, goddamn. Is it loading or... Okay, no, I had to press A again. That was not a loading screen. This is the loading screen. Okay. Good frame rate. Frame rate seems solid. Seems to be targeting 30/25. God. No play-by-play. I'm going to raise the volume a little bit by 2 decibels. Oh, here we go. Camera options. Here we go. Side scroller, TV, diagonal, overhead, NHL All Star. Let's stick with the NHL All Star camera. Got it. Oh no, penalty. For roughing. Yeah, no play-by-play.
Penalty to number 11, Phil Clemens. 2 minutes for roughing.
Okay, there is an announcer.
The penalty, 1:18.
Damn it. Slap shots are more powerful, but they take time to set up. Okay, that goalie's a nervous Nancy. He smothers that puck every chance he gets. Even when we back off, he's like, nope, gonna smother it. Okay. Oh, shit. I was kind of hoping one of my guys might have been down there, but wasn't.
Last minute of play in the first period.
Damn it. Okay. And that's the end of the first period. What kind of options do we have? Oh, okay, we've got to load out to another menu to change options. Okay. Okay. No. Resume game. Resume game. Okay, and we've got to load back into it. Doesn't take that long though, which is good. Presentation seems fine. Somebody grab it, please. Oh my god. Chaos. That guy straight up dove in front of the puck to stop it. Oh, you kidding me? Never 100% sure what team member I'm going to switch to when I press B. Oh, elbowing.
Great Britain penalty to number 9, Greg Wignall. 2 minutes for elbowing. Time of the penalty, 2:44.
You can grab that if you want. Oh my god. So hesitant. The puck appears to be a 3D object
In the second period.
with actual physics, which is interesting. Why did you pass it directly to him? Why did you not pass it to the guy to your left? Fuck's sake. That's the second period and the score is still 0-0. Cool. I like the addition of Sega Saturn and Sega Sports branding to the ice rink. That is absolutely not there in the PlayStation version. Got it. 1-0. 1-0. Do we say nil in hockey? I don't know. Is it just 1-0?
Austria goal scored by number 7, Gerald Kraft. The assist to number 6, Michael Reynolds. Time of the goal, 53 seconds.
Like a lot of ice hockey games, it suffers the problem where if you get too many people all close together, it becomes very tough to tell what the fuck is even happening. Okay, and they equalised immediately. Okay. Yeah, you get too many players all like all crowded up into a group, all bashing into each other, and it just becomes a clusterfuck. This game seems quiet. This game seems quiet, like really quiet in a way that is strange. Okay, what if we lower it? Increase volume again by another 2 decibels. Oh shit.
Last bit of the play in the third period.
Okay, the frame rate it's not perfect. It definitely gets a little bit framey when there are a lot of players on screen.
Great Britain penalty to number 9, Greg Wignall.
But it's trying.
Charging. Time of the penalty, 4:12.
Oh, he's been disqualified for the next 2 games for charging, for bad behaviour. Oh my god. We're going into overtime. We might be going into overtime. Ah. Crap. Overtime it is. Oh, we're going out this way now. This game needs a passing indicator. It highlights what player you will pass to if you choose to pass at that moment. What's happening? Oh my god. Okay. There, please. Thank you. God. Over there. Over there. No. Saved it.
Last minute of play in the first overtime period.
Oh my god. Get the fucking thing out of here. Okay. Should we try a different camera angle? Try TV camera. Oof. Okay, it's actually harder to see what the hell's going on with this more zoomed out camera. Got it. 2-1. Got proper little shadows and everything.
Austria goal scored by number 7.
They're not basic drop shadows. They've got like, you know,
For the assist to number 30.
detailed shadows.
And to number 26. Daryl.
Okay, that was the end of the game. Okay. 2-1, 2-1. Scoring summary. Yeah, this seems totally fine. Frame rate's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than certain other hockey games that will not be named. Okay. Yeah, this seems like a perfectly acceptable hockey game. I don't think it's quite as good as NHL 97, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's trying some things, you know? It's a full 3D hockey game with polygonal players that is going for, you know, trying to maintain a smooth frame rate, which is not an easy thing to do on the Sega Saturn, so... Alright. So, where are we going to put NHL All Star Hockey 98? Like I said, it's fine. I don't think it's quite as good as NHL 97. NHL Power Play is right here, which is the other hockey game from Radical Entertainment that this is the game that this game is the actual sequel to. I don't know, it's about the same. It seems about the same. It's not as good as NHL 97. It's... Yeah, man, this list needs some slight reordering. Because I don't know if I feel the same way about NHL Power Play as I did when I first ranked it. Shit. It's better than FIFA 96. It's not as good as NHL 97. It's better than F1 Challenge. I don't like it as much as Destruction Derby, even though Destruction Derby is... the Saturn version of Destruction Derby is not the best. Oh, yeah, we need to do some cleanup on this list, because I like this game, I think, slightly more than the original NHL Power Play, but I don't like it as much as FIFA 97, which is a bad position. It's a bad position to be in. So I think for the time being, we're going to place it here, which is close enough to my actual feelings on it, but when we get to the end of this series and we restructure the list slightly, we will fix this situation. NHL All-Star Hockey, for now, is our new number 127. Yeah. It's like, the top of the list feels good, and the bottom of the list feels good, mostly. It's really the middle third of this list, which is like the portion of this list that is bothering me the most. The middle third is definitely the portion that is in most need of an adjustment. Yeah, we will get to that when we get to that. But now let us move on to our third and final game of the video. So the next game we're going to play is an a Winter Olympics game. That is the sequel, the direct sequel to okay, where is it? I'm really bad at seeing shit. Right here in front of me. It is the direct sequel to Athlete Kings, which was the track and field game we played back in episode 32. And let me just change the cover art here. It is called Winter Heat. So, bring the capture back up. Okay. Like Athlete Kings, also known as Decathlete, this game makes extensive use of a high-res interlaced mode, so we'll just let the attract mode play. When it eventually does. Yeah, this game came out in Europe in February of 1998.
Winter Heat!
There we go. It only actually does that when you let the attract mode play. It doesn't play the little jingle and say Winter Heat when you first boot up the game, which is very strange. So this game has a very similar presentation to Athlete Kings. How to play animations, number of trial, difficulty. We're going to leave it on easy. Key configuration, speed, action, speed. Okay. Hall of Fame. So you can see who gets the best score or best times on certain certain courses. Sound test. Oh, good. Speech.
Winter heat! Winter heat! Winter heat! Speed skiing! Speed skiing! Ski jumping! Ski jumping! Downhill! Downhill! Short track! Short track! Skeleton! Skeleton! Slalom! Slalom! Aerial! Aerial! Bobsleigh! Bobsleigh! Speed skating! Speed skating! Snowboard! Cross-country skiing!
Course number 1, 2. Rick Blade, USA. Carl Vane, Germany. BB, Great Britain. Alexei Regil, Russia.
Okay. So they've you might notice there's an omission from the cast in this game. The character who represented Great Britain in Athlete Kings has been replaced. Apparently there was like a minor controversy surrounding his character design from Athlete Kings. Some versions of the game had him removed because they were worried that he was would be perceived as an insensitive racial stereotype. So for the sequel, Winter Heat, they took him out and replaced him with the ginger-haired masked BB, which is the character in the middle of the box art there with the green suit and the face mask.
Japan. Johan Stenson, Norway. Ellen Reggiani, France.
Which is, I don't know, it's funny to me because I think the character in the original Athlete Kings that got all the controversy around them is actually based on a real Olympian. So people getting upset that the character would be like perceived as racist. It's based on a real person. They didn't just make the character up. You know, it's like a slightly cartoonish rendition that is based on a that was based on a real life Olympian. So that's weird.
France. Li Huan, China.
On your mark.
That's enough. That's enough of those. How many of these are there? Okay, quite a few. Oh my god, is there over 100? There's over 100. Oh my god. Look at all these. Look at all these speech.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, wow. Okay, okay, custom heat, individual match, arcade mode, 11 event heat. Let's do 11 event heat. So you've got Rick Blade, Carl Vane, BB, Aleski, Joe, Joanne, Johan, might be pronounced Johan actually. Here we go. Johan, Ellen Reggiani, and Li Huang. Let's go with BB. Why not? It's weird that it waits for another player, even though there's no second controller plugged in.
Speed skiing.
Yeah. Very similar presentation to Athlete Kings. Which is good, because Athlete Kings is a good-looking game.
On your mark.
Oh, am I not going to get a instruction?
Set.
Okay, I guess not. Okay, this is just pure speed. So I'm hammering both the A and the C button to increase the speed. There we go. Oh. Got a new world record. Okay, so whoop. Good start. We've got a world record in our first event. Let's go next game.
Ski jumping.
Ski jumping. Oh god. I believe this event is very similar to speed skiing, but there's an extra action at the end. Oh, here we go. Press the speed button repeatedly to quote-unquote run up. Press the action button to begin takeoff. Hold down action button to increase jump angle. Optimum angle is 30 degrees by the looks of it. Press action again to land. Okay. Okay. Speeding up. It's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, 59 meters. That is not good. The world record is 110 meters. We didn't even get 60. We need another attempt. Oh, it's a little bit better. Much better, in fact. 90. Okay, respectable. Respectable. Still 20 short of the world record, but, you know, I'll take it. Okay. That appears to be a passing grade. 5th place. Okay.
Downhill.
Okay. Speed button to dash, repeatedly to dash, D-pad to change course as you accelerate. Action button to jump at the jump points. Okay. Missing a jump makes you lose time. Right. Understood. Oh god. Yeah, if you accidentally knock the wall, it takes you a couple seconds to recover. And if you're in the middle of recovering, you can't jump properly. Oh god! Ugh. Delayed turning as well. Oh god, no! For fuck's sake. Turn. Oh. "48 seconds. "4 seconds short of the world record." That one's tough. That one's tough. I feel like that course really relies on you memorising the course before you do it.
Short track.
Short track. Speed skating, 500 metres. Press speed button repeatedly to accelerate. D-pad to control skater. Speed skater is slowed by wind resistance. Okay, prevents you from getting too far ahead of the pack, I guess. I don't know, that feels like some rubber banding bullshit to me.
On your mark. Set.
Four laps to finish. Three laps to finish. Two laps to finish.
I can maintain the lead on the straights,
Final
but
lap.
you get this... You know, the people on the outside just tend to have... Okay. Oh. We got the world record as well. Look, there's even this like attempt at a proper reflection as well. That's neat. Okay. Let's go next game.
Skeleton.
Oh, the skeleton. The best Winter Olympics event. The one that involves you throwing yourself face first down an ice tube at like 60 miles an hour. Okay. E to steer. Action button to brake. That's the brake button. Okay. Hitting the wall makes you lose speed. Press the speed button repeatedly when turned over. Okay, understood. Okay. God. Get in the fucking thing. Stop. Oh, fucking Christ. Turn. This is tough. That was not the best, but we somehow still got the world record. Okay. Results of day 1. Okay.
Slalom.
Slalom. The first event of day 2. Okay. Action button to knock down the gates as you approach. Do you have to knock down the gates? I just thought you had to go around them. Missing a gate makes you lose speed? Okay. I wasn't aware that knocking down the gates was the requirement. I just thought that was just a side effect of people skiing so close to the foam gates that they get knocked. But okay.
On your mark.
Oh, it's a race as well.
Set.
You have to actually hit them. Oh my god. This is annoying. I'm hitting the button. Okay, that's fucking weird. That is way more involved than... I felt like there were times when I was hitting the action button and it just wasn't... You weren't hitting the gates, you were just cut... Okay.
Area.
That's my least favourite, it's my least favourite event so far, that one. Action button to select a performance. Press the speed button repeatedly to run up. Hold the action button to charge power. Release action button to begin performance. Press the speed button repeatedly in the air for better performance. Okay. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Action, speed, got it. The action. Okay. Okay, I was trying to select a harder performance, but it wouldn't let me. Oh, come on. Okay. I did what it told me. Do I try again? Can I try again, please? It says press the action button to select the performance. Okay. Still not sure why I couldn't select a harder performance there. That's not great. Can we do that again? Can we try that again? No? All it said was push the action button to select a difficulty of performance. Then I was pushing the action button and nothing happened. Always a good feeling. Always a good feeling. Always a good feeling when the button they tell you to press doesn't actually do anything. Okay. Speed, okay. I always feel like the more complicated events in these types of games are always the worst events. Similar to the skeleton, but faster. Oh my god. Yet the steering is even less responsive in this than it was in Skeleton. Stop. God, we made it. Ugh. Do you want to kiss my lucky egg? What year did Cool Runnings come out? That's an early 90s movie, isn't it? That's not a late 90s movie.
Speed skating.
Okay, speed skating 500 meters. Press the speed button repeatedly to accelerate. Oh, we're not wearing our mask in this one. Keep your speed in the safe range at the corners. Take care to pace yourself at the corners. Okay. Okay. So don't hammer the button as fast as you can at the corners. Gotcha.
On your mark. Set.
Gotcha. Straight fucking go ape shit. Oh, a little bit too fast into the corner there. Just short of the world record. Just short of the world record. Third place. Okay.
Snowboard.
Oh, cool. Snowboarding. I bet this will control well. Okay, speed button to start. D-pad to control the player. Penalty for missed gates. Action button to jump. Okay, this is similar to the other. Okay. This is similar to the other event. Yeah. Somewhat delayed steering. Oh god, turn! Oh shit, I hit the action button there. I hit the action button. Alright, not too bad. Fifth place. Okay. Okay.
Cross-country skiing.
Ooh, cross country. Oh man, is that going to be complicated? It's going to be complicated, isn't it? Am I going to have to take notes? Okay, speed to accelerate. So fast. Oh, there's a stamina bar. There's a stamina bar. I see a stamina bar. D-pad to control skier. Take care to pace yourself. Yeah, accelerating too hard, too much causes you to lose energy. Okay. Okay.
On your mark. Set.
Okay. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a slope indicator. You can tell. You can tell when the course is getting steeper, when you're going uphill and when you're going downhill. That's cool. So this is more about stamina management than hammering the speed button. Oh God. Fucking way. Oh my God. Get fucking out from behind this dude. I'm too far behind. Right. Ah! Whatever. Second place. Even though there were very clearly two people in front of me, somehow I got second place. Okay. Sure. Alright. Total score 9,862. Still got a high score. Okay.
It's all done.
Okay. Sure. So we get a character-specific ending. Oh, cool. Followed by some cool credits. That's neat. You know, this game's cool. I don't know if I like it quite as much as Athlete Kings, but this is still really good as an athletics event. Not an athletics game, but an Olympics game. Let's call it. It's not Action Olympics game because Olympics is a trademark. So what would you call this? A winter athletics game? Should you call it winter athletics? Data East. Okay. Data East worked on this. Alright. Interesting. That's a cool screen. That's a cool game over screen. Yeah. AM3 worked on Athlete Kings, so what role did Data East play in this? Was it a case where the original arcade version was AM looks like the arcade version was was made by AM3, and the Saturn port, was it entirely Data East, or was it just Data East was like an assistant developer? Can't really say. Look, I'm going to say Data East probably didn't do this by themselves. I'm going to say probably this was a joint, that the Saturn home port was probably a joint project between AM3 and Data East. Because I don't know, the quality of this port is too good for it to be just handled by a single third-party developer. Maybe I'm being mean to Data East there, but I don't know. Anyway, that is Winter Heat. And, okay, we go to individual match. I don't know. It lets you choose whatever course you want. Just like in Athlete Kings, you can select an individual event to practice if you want to. But yeah, really good presentation, really good performance. Cool game. Cool game. No, back out, please. Don't actually do it. Okay. Alright. Where are we going to stick Winter Heat? This game is cool. Just like Athlete Kings, it's got an excellent presentation, both technically and artistically. It's a really striking looking game. But I don't know if I like it quite as much as Athlete Kings. I think more of the events. I think the events in Athlete Kings / Decathlete are more hit and miss in Winter Heat than they are in Athlete Kings. I think there's definitely a higher number of events in Winter Heat that I kind of find myself dreading than in Athlete Kings. think the one event in Athlete Kings that I really dread is the pole vault. That's the one event in that game that is like really like unnecessarily complex, whereas Winter Heat has at least 3 events where it feels like the controls don't work quite the way you think they should, or even the way the games say they should. Like, what was that one with the aerial tricks? You know, ski jumping. Where it's like, okay, press the A button to change the complexity of the performance. And it's like, I felt like I was hitting the A button a lot and nothing was happening. And then it felt really hit and miss whether or not it would detect inputs sometimes. Like the slalom. You're supposed to hit the A button to hit the gates, but it felt like half the time it wouldn't register me hitting the gate, even though I was holding the A button. Maybe it's more of a timing input than I just hold down the button. Yeah. There's some of those events definitely feel like the controls could have been optimized a little bit better. But yeah, this is still a really cool game. But Athlete Kings is a better game. I like Buster Move 3 more than I like Winter Heat. I like Sega Ages Volume 1 more than I like Winter Heat. But I like Winter Heat more than I like Soviet Strike, so it's our new number 37. It's going here. Cool game. A worthy follow-up to Athlete Kings. Okay. And that is it for this video. Next time on Ranking of Saturn, we will be ranking 3 more games. We're at... Oh, God. Come on now. There it is. We are at 226 games ranked now. We have 14 games left to go. We are rapidly running out of games here. And next time, we will have 3 more games to rank. We will be ranking a light gun game, an action arcade game, an arcade action game. Not quite sure how to describe this one. I guess an arcadey action game. There we go. That's how we're going to describe it, even though that honestly could mean almost anything. And another retro compilation, of which there were several on the Sega Saturn. It always tickles me when you go back and you look at a retro compilation. A retro compilation that is so old it has itself become retro. Always tickles me when we do that. Yeah. So, look forward to that. And as always, I am the Real Blue Dragon. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.